In the frozen heart of Imperial Russia, a man was born into nobility, but died a barefoot prophet. He wrote some of the greatest novels in human history, inspired revolutions, terrified tsars, and grew a beard so wild it made philosophers weep. This isn't just the story of war and peace. It's the story of a beard that chose truth over comfort, simplicity over riches, and became the most powerful facial hair potentially ever in Russian history. This is the Beardtory of Leo Tolstoy. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode, episode 8 of Beardtory. This is gonna be a good one. If you're new here, what do? We take a beard in history, Beardtory. We talk about it, we educate you about it, and then we rank the beard at the end. We're actually going to show you also where he ranks amongst all of the other 7 beards that we have done. There's been some good ones. Odin, spoiler alert, took the #1 spot over Blackbeard in last week's episode. Feel free to go watch all of the other ones. They're pretty quick, and this is something that I'm super passionate about. So let's get in to the story of Leo Tolstoy and his beard. Just want to let you know, too, also, I don't really speak Russian, so there's probably going to be some names. There is going to be some names that I mispronounce. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments for my inability to say names correctly. It's my kryptonite. But let's go through this. The noble beard awakens. Picture this. It's 1828. Leo Tolstoy was born into wealth and privilege with his family. But if you expected him to live a life of silver spoons and silk slippers, well, you clearly haven't met his inner beard yet. In his youth, he wasn't some genius meditating in the woods. He was a party-loving, gambling, addicted, academically disinterested aristocrat. He dropped out of university, blew through his inheritance, once tried to better himself with a strict schedule of self-employment that he abandoned within weeks. So he was basically the 1800s version of starting a gym routine in January and being done by, well, middle of January. But then came war. Tolstoy served as an artillery officer during the wars, witnessing unspeakable horrors during the siege of Sevastopol. And it broke something open inside of him. He began writing stories about soldiers, about mortality, about why men kill each other in mud and blood. His first published works aren't grand novels. They were truth bombs dropped into Russian literary saloons like grenades. The beard hadn't arrived yet, but the man who would wear it was beginning to grow. Some might say he actually went from page to prophet. When war and peace hit Russia, it was like someone had written an entire civilization into prose. It wasn't just a book, it was a national mirror. Tolstoy crafted a sweeping saga of Napoleon's invasion of Russia, intertwining philosophy, history, romance, and existential reflection into a beard-thickened tome of epic proportions. It was as if Homer and some other Russian military philosophers and your overly wise grandfather all got drunk and wrote a masterpiece together. Shortly after came Anna's piece, a tragic love story as much about society's failings as it was about its character. And his reputation, untouchable. His prose, divine. But inside, Leo was wrestling with a spiritual storm. By the 1870s, he was having a full-blown, crisis. He questioned the meaning of life, the hypocrisy of organized religion, and whether property ownership was, morally acceptable. Spoiler, he decided it wasn't. His renounced wealth, refused copyrights to his books, started wearing peasant clothes, farming his land by hand, and trying to live the life of the working poor. He believed the path to truth was simplicity. And his beard, it grew like an unfiltered forest of philosophy, wild and free, rejecting society's razors, just as he rejected its norms. He wasn't just growing a beard anymore. He was becoming it. By now, he wasn't just a literary legend. He was a moral force. He corresponded with everyone from pacifists to anarchists, spreading his ideas of nonviolence, love, and moral responsibility. His writings were banned by the Russian Orthodox Church in 1901. He was actually excommunicated But he didn't care. He had become quite literally a living saint of the Russian people. His beard became iconic, printed on pamphlets, carried by, religions, some of them, and even revered by Gandhi, who credited his ideas with influencing his own nonviolent resistance. But he grew tired. He loved humanity, but loathed the fame. In 1910, at 82 years old, he left his estate in secret, hoping to find peace and solitude. He collapsed at a remote railway station. There, surrounded not by nobles, but strangers and silence, the beard pressed on because, the beard didn't die. It entered the myths, a symbol of truth over tyranny, simplicity over excess, and words over weapons. But it's now time to rank this beard. For anybody that doesn't know, we rank it on a couple of different categories. We're going to rank it on fear factor, wisdom points, intimidation level, thickness and wildness, historical impact. We're going to give you a total score. First up, fear factor. I'm going to give this a 3.1 out of 10. When you think of him, you don't think fear. Somebody who is all about peace and love. It's not scary. That's not fear. And if love is scary, that's a conversation and a place for somebody else, right? Yeah. 3.1 out of 10. Next, let's do wisdom points. This was a smart man. Some, maybe you think not as smart, but the life that he did, the wisdom that he did, to be able to put out the books that he did, that's pretty smart. I mean, I've put out some books, but they're kids' books. And if you want them, they're pretty cool. Go check out Mr. Whiskerwitz. It's on Amazon. For real, that'd be pretty cool. But wisdom points, I'm going to give it a 9.2 out of 10. Intimidation level, again, for me, not super intimidating. I mean, could you see it intimidating? He's ex-military, did fight in wars, but again, love, peace, tranquility, and especially as he got older, not intimidating to me at all. Maybe you differ, but I'm going to go with a 3.6 out of 10. Thickness and wildness. His beard was pretty thick. A lot of the images, depictions, paintings, stuff like that, pretty wild. It's more wild than thick. There is a little bit of some density, which, whatever. It's not a long, flowing, mythical beard like Odin by any means, but it's a pretty wild beard with some thickness. So for me, it's a 7.7 out of 10. Historical impact. Again, not a huge historical, off the charts impact for me personally. Again, I'm the one that's ranking it, but I said, you know what? I can't just do what I think. In the grand scheme of everything, it's a pretty historical impact. Beard, I didn't overly know him, so there was a lot that I did learn in here. But again, I didn't know a ton about Russian history. So he has left a pretty big historical impact. Anytime you write a very popular, well-known book, you're leaving your impact on history forever. So, with that being said, I'm going to combine my lack of knowledge with the historical impact in the world, and we land at a 7.6 out of 10. Total score, for anybody that's not good at math, I did the math for you. It's a 31.2 out of 50, and this is where his beard ranks amongst all of the others. Right here. See it? Check it out. Yeah. Well done, Leo. So his beard never led armies, never clashed swords. It didn't threaten, it questioned. And in doing so, it reshaped how we see mortality, truth, and even ourselves. It wrote with the weight of a nation and whispered to the world, simplicity is strength, compassion is rebellion, and beards are eternal. And there you have it. Episode 8 in the books. See what I did there? We'll be back next week for another one. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I sure am. That's all we got. See you, hopefully, next week. And again, go check out 1 through 7. Let us know who's your favorite beard that we've done so far. And please, if you have a recommendation, you want to know the Beardtory of somebody in history, let us know in the comments right now. But that's all we got. See ya next time. Take care, everybody.